It's the Blues Rock Show with Pete Francis and Willie Witten.
Welcome to the Blues Rock Show. Pete Francis alongside Willie Witten. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to get all the latest videos. Willie, the Blues Music Awards winners have been revealed. We've got them right now on bluesrockreview.com if you want to check out the entire list. To start, we're going to talk about the Blues Rock categories as we are Blues Rock Review. So Blues Rock Album of the Year goes to Mike Zito with his tribute to Chuck Berry. And then also Mike Zito wins Blues Rock Artist. So what are your thoughts on Mike Zito cleaning up at the BMAs, Willie?
I don't know, Pete. If we go back about a week, I remember there was someone who said that he was pretty sure that Zito would take home the album and the artist. Did you remember that?
His initials, I think, might be WW.
Yeah. I call that. And Pete, the reason why I'm able to gloat about that is because those were the only two things I got right. Everything else I got wrong. So just so everyone knows that I'm not gloating, I went 2 for 9 on the categories that I picked. So
Willie's a winner. That's the best win percentage of pretty much any analyst out there.
Well, these are hard because let's be honest.
You're the only one who predicted them, but you got the best percentage.
Right, because I bested you. In all seriousness, I think that this is very difficult to predict. I think also part of the reason why is because I looked down the list and nothing stood out to me that was a huge miss, because I thought in any of these bigger categories, I thought there were 2 or 3 that I always felt that like, hey, any of these could win, and I wouldn't think that they were being misplaced. What are you? Were there any big surprises for you?
Not really. Like what you said, Mike Zito wins too, and I think good for him. He had a really great year. I think that album was a cool album. He brought a lot of different artists together on that album, and that album was a lot of fun, and he's paying tribute to Chuck Berry, who is a hero of his. And then he goes and wins Blues Rock Artist, and he's had a big year. He launched his own record label. But Mike Zito, that Chuck Berry album, that actually came out like towards the very end of 2019, I believe, or maybe depending on what part of the world you were. I think it was very late 2019 or early 2020. So that one had been kind of a while ago, but he released another album in 2020.
Right.
His Quarantine Blues album, which I thought was a fantastic album. Personally, I actually like that album more than the Chuck Berry album. Nothing against the Chuck Berry album. I really like that one too. But I thought Quarantine Blues, in my opinion, was the best album he's ever done.
Really?
So for him to get Blues Rock Artist, I think Mike Zito was very deserving.
Okay. I agree. I think he's had a good, and really these awards, because of everything that's gone on, there's been some leeway on when were things released and whatnot.
This is just such a hard year, Willie. I mean, when you look at it, because no one could tour this year.
Right.
So it's just so hard to actually pick winners from a year that really isn't a complete year when you think about it.
Yeah. And I think, once again, tough to say who should win or who should not win. I think, to be honest, I think a lot of times people fixate on that when really to be nominated for any of these categories in a way is a win, because it's very subjective. Another thing I want to take a look at, BB King Entertainer of the Year, Shamika Copeland. I think she also won for Contemporary Blues Album with Uncivil War, and then also Contemporary Blues Female Artist. 3 wins is pretty big. She had a big year. Kingfish has another.
He picked up another 2.
He picked up another 2. He was Contemporary Male, and also
I think last year Kingfish won 5. So
that's a big year.
7 in 2 years, not too bad for Kingfish.
So I thought that once again, I think as much as it's awards, it's more an evening where people can get together, look back on a year, be proud of some of the things they put together, and no complaints. None of the winners were unjustified in their wins. And I don't think anyone walks away from this feeling like anyone got a cheap award or someone really got snubbed. In a year like this, I think people are just happy to be smiling about something.
Yeah, and the thing about all these awards, at the end of the day, it's all very, very subjective.
Yep.
I mean, you look at Blues Rock Review's top 20 albums of 2020, and it's pretty different from the Blues Music Awards, nominees for Blues Rock Album. There's a couple that were on both, but it's very different because music is a very subjective thing. And, there were a lot of artists and great albums that didn't get BMA nominations for whatever reason. And, no matter what the awards show is, that happens all the time.
Yeah. I don't think it's a huge worry. But that is now past. I want to sort of stay on topic, but also look to the future. Pete, I think it might be time for the blues and blues rock genre to do something they don't normally do, and is maybe look ahead and try to be proactive, try to jump the gun. And when I say that, Pete, what I'm talking about is I think it wouldn't be the worst thing to introduce a couple new categories. And the reason why I say that is because coming through the pandemic year, we've really realized, A, how crucial touring and ticket sales are now that the album sales have dropped, and B, the advent of live streaming and how much we consume digitally and through the net these days. And so, Pete, I'm going to propose something, and you can either support me or shoot it down for being one of my ridiculous ideas, which I have many. But I would propose two new awards. I like how you agreed. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these two, I think, might be worth thinking about. One, I'd love to see an award for Tour of the Year. And two, I'd like to see an award, and I know this is maybe a little bit of an anathema for this genre, live stream of the year. Pete, what are your thoughts on these ridiculous ideas?
Well, Willie, I actually don't think they're that ridiculous. I think those are actually pretty good ideas. When you talk about Tour of the Year, I think that's a great idea, especially for a genre like the blues, where touring is what it's all about. I mean, to really hear this music the way it's meant to be heard, you need to see these bands live and out on tour. So I think having an award for Tour of the Year would be a fantastic thing for the BMAs to do. Having a category for live streams, I think, would be awesome because the way things have changed in the past year, yeah, I think live streams are now a part of the deal. That doesn't mean you have to just do live streams, but it's a nice option to have. And what a live stream does is it can get you heard by more people outside of just one specific area.
Right.
If you put out a nice high quality live stream, well, say you're in Texas, well, you could have people over in Europe and the UK and South Africa and Australia, wherever, and they can have access and they can buy that and watch that. I think that's fantastic. And you look at where live streams have come since the beginning of the pandemic to now. Right. When you first thought of a live stream, you're thinking of someone, okay, they're whipping out Facebook Live and they're just playing with their acoustic guitar, in front of their cell phone. And that's what they're doing for a live stream. But now a lot of these live stream productions are very high quality productions. You look at what Joe Bonamassa did.
Yep.
I mean, that's like a top tier DVD, Blu-ray live concert sort of production.
So was Blackstone Cherry. They really dug in and produced something that I thought was right off the bat live, but DVD worthy as it was being streamed live. This is high quality stuff now, I think.
Yeah, I think Larkin Poe, Allman Betts Band. Right. There's a lot of artists that have done some really high quality live streams, and I think that's going to be part of the game now. So I think that would be great for them to add another category to kind of reward those artists that have put together really high quality live streams.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought. I just thought that maybe I see all these categories and they've got all the main ones covered, and maybe just a chance to look to the future and be an industry leader, I think. Instead of sometimes following after everyone else is caught on, I think it would be pretty cool if the genre took the first step and said, hey, we're acknowledging this and look to us to now take a step in the future. We're now going to lead some things, and surprise, get used to it. The blues is back. I don't know. That's just
absolutely. Now, Willie, speaking of industry leaders, John Mayer just released a new single, Last Train Home. People have their opinion about John Mayer, and this single is definitely different, and it's a different direction for him. What did you think of this single, Willie?
I thought a couple things stood out. I thought it was very, very professional in that the song was great. I thought the video was spotless. I thought it was enjoyable. It was very concise. It's pretty much a 3-minute runtime and done. As usual, John Mayer ticks all the boxes as far as he's got a great voice. The melodies are nice. The guitar playing is good. Something I'm going to say is when I watched it for the first time, my first impression was I'm feeling like Eric Clapton Journeyman album era.
Yeah, I got that vibe as well.
He stepped into that sort of, I don't know if you want to call it that part of his career where he's a little more adult contemporary. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not boring. It's still interesting and engaging, but some of the edges come off. So I thought that's what struck me, Journeyman era. How about you,
Yeah,
Pete?
and you listen to this song, and it is a straight up 80s vibe on this song. So it's interesting to hear somebody like John Mayer, who has so much modern day commercial success, go in that direction because so few artists are doing that 80s sort of thing today. But like you said, Willie, it's about a 3-minute song. You know, I thought it was great. I thought the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. I thought, you know, the guitar parts in there were pretty cool as well. So yeah, I think it's a good single, and I like the music video as well. I really kind of liked the vibe that they went for. I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was interesting too. And this is going to go back to your 80s discussion. The other thing, so music aside now, because this is not music related, but the video itself, it reminded me of a video, and you probably aren't going to remember this off the top of your head because why would you? It's a little bit obscure. But there was a video that I remember watching. It was a Phil Collins video, and it's for the song Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. So for whoever's watching, you might want to take a look and compare them. It was similar in the way that there was sort of the live but backstage look. It was sort of very honest, as in you could see the people, or at least they made it look like you could see people prepping for a show, live production, very open. And then also there was a little cameo of a dog in the Mayer video, and there's a cameo of a dog in the Phil Collins. I don't know. I mean, this is something to do after you listen to us continue to talk about this, but tell me what you think, because if you go compare those two videos side by side, it's almost like he stole a page out of Phil Collins' book for the video part, not the music.
Yeah, well, we'll have to go check that out then. What did you guys think of the new John Mayer single and the video? Let us know down in the comments section below. What did you think about the Blues Music Awards and the winners selected this year? Let us know down in the comments. And which categories would you like to see added to the BMAs next year? Leave your comments down below. We definitely read those, and we definitely appreciate anyone who leaves a comment. So make sure to leave those comments, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to get all the latest videos. But for now, he's Willie, I'm Pete. This is the Blues Rock Show. We'll see you next time.